And if you actually were to read the individual books, you would see
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then you would know that these war periods are actually very rare in the time period that is being covered. Potentially somewhere around like 1,200 years is being covered in the old from Exodus all the way to Malachi. How many wars are there and conflicts in this 1,200 year period?
But there were wars and conflicts during Jesus' lifetime too.
Hold on.
And I like his message though. Don't get me wrong. Like Jesus has the best message.
Wait. You're jumping a little bit. I wanted to address specifically this idea that that violence is good in the Old Testament.
It was allowed. It was even encouraged at times.
Okay, absolutely. Because there are absolutely times when you need to use force for your own survival.
That's not what God said to Jesus, though.
No, hold on a second. You have the wrong view of Jesus. Have you read the Gospels?
Yeah, I did.
Do you get
I grew up Christian.
Okay.
More, though.
Do you get the idea from reading the Gospels that Jesus is a pacifist?
Yes.
Okay. Can I see where he said that you should not fight?
He said, turn the other cheek and love thy enemy.
That is to do with insulting and espousing better values. If you love your enemy,
does that lift up the sword too? I mean, he did say don't commit violence.
No, he said no. That isn't what he said. He said those who live by the sword will die by the sword. Those who were repeated.
He said love thy enemy though.
Wait a second. Each of these have their own internal context. Living by something means what to you? For example, I live by the American Constitution. Right? I adhere to it wholeheartedly and I practice it repeatedly. If you live by the sword, what does that mean? The sword is your go-to for all of your conflicts and resolutions.
Right.
If you are always violent, at some point violence will come back to you.
Yeah, fair.
Now, Jesus absolutely says, effectively, do not always be violent. Live by the sword.
I'm pretty sure he said never do that.
He didn't say that.
That's the thing. I'm just saying, like,
He doesn't say that.
Amongst all the religions, I think Christianity is the most.
I'm just trying to explain to you the context.
And honest.
Christianity is not pacifist.
I think it is.
It's not. Okay.
Well,
were you like an Anabaptist or something?
Southern Baptist originally.
Okay.
Yeah. So like evangelical originally, but my only point is like his whole message was pacifism.
It wasn't pacifism at all.
We disagree on that.
I mean, if you want, you read the Bible before, pull it out and show me. It wasn't pacifism. Turning the other cheek is literally about retaliation. Specifically for insults. Because don't forget, he gives 3 examples in that verse in Matthew. When someone strikes you, offer them the other cheek. When someone charges you to walk a mile, walk 2. If someone asks you for your cloak, give them your tunic. These things are insults in a first century context.
That's fair.
But none of them threaten your life. So for example, if I said, oh, you're just stupid, right? The better virtue is to not respond to me by saying, well, you're hideous. If I come with a sword to stab you in the heart, you have the right to defend yourself. Because not only...
God didn't have Jesus defend himself against the Romans.
Because he came for a purpose which you already know. He wasn't here to just live out a long human life.
Would have been he'd be better if he lived forever, right?
Well, no.
I would be a Christian to this day if he were here right now.
Hold on.
I'm just saying, you got to admit that's a little bit of a contradiction.
Hold on.
It's a little bit of a missing link.
Finish off your point.
I'm just saying, like, God is so powerful, and yet he's not here right now, visually. You know what I mean? Like, we can't see him. He's not performing any miracles. So to me, it's a little unfair.
Even when he was here in the flesh performing miracles, the majority still did not believe in him. The majority.
That's fair. But
my friend, if I may finish, God knows the beginning from the end by virtue of him being eternal and the creator of our reality. Nothing surprises God. So I hold as a point of faith that whatever action we see God partaking in our reality is the best possible action in order that as many people possible can come to him.
I don't know if I agree. I mean, COVID, the Holocaust, world wars, like...
That has nothing to do with God and all to do with us. We are the ones who caused all those
He
things.
can control us, though.
But he doesn't
Why
because
not?
he loves us.
Why cause suffering, though?
God isn't the cause of suffering, we are.
He can control us, though. He can stop the suffering.
And the reason why he doesn't control us is because he loves us.
I don't think that children suffering is a form act of love.
So, when you say love, can you define what you mean? Because within the Bible, we know what we mean by love.
I mean, not hurting someone would be loving someone. And so letting children die of AIDS and cancer and COVID and the Holocaust, that's not
What
love.
of these, which of any of these, where is God involved in this stuff? Where is he causing
That's
the
my question.
Holocaust?
He should have been.
Okay, so
I mean, that's my point, is he should have been.
the point of Christianity, as hopefully you remember, is that it is not God who is inept or imperfect or lacking. It's us.
And agreed.
And
Agreed in
we,
Christianity. I
we
agree.
are
And-
wait. We are the ones who are causing the issues.
Right, that's what Christianity
World
says,
War
absolutely.
II is a human endeavor.
Right, but
Sure.
my point is like,
Wait
why-
a
Sorry,
second.
go ahead.
Let me get to the end.
Go ahead.
World War II is a human endeavor. Children being born with cancers is a consequence of our fallen reality, where things are imperfect, things perish, and things die. If we were operating in the perfection which we were originally made in the idea of the Garden of Eden, those things would not happen.
I mean, that
But
seems- that
because
seems
we
cruel. That
continue,
seems like a cruel God to me, though.
God isn't cruel here, because despite the fact that we continuously disappoint God with things like World War II
don't
and
agree
the
with you on
Holocaust,
that.
God is still providing ways for us to come to
You
Him
can do a little better,
and know
though. You
love.
can do a little better.
There is, so according to Jesus, and again, you can refute him if you want, there is no better love than to sacrifice yourself for your own friends. AKA what Christ does for us.
Right, that's true.
That
That's
is
what they
the
believe.
biggest form of
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
Do you have a bigger one?
So God should be not letting babies sacrifice themselves to prove a point. to
Babies aren't sacrificing
anyone. They're
themselves.
dying of AIDS. They're dying of cancer.
They aren't sacrificing themselves. They are suffering, like we all do,
Why?
as a result
What do they-
of the fallen state of the world.
Why do they deserve to suffer?
So I would say they don't. But unfortunately,
But
because
God's all powerful, he should not let them suffer,
because
bro.
no, because of our actions, we cause them to suffer. For example, cancer rates continue to increase globally, right? Despite the fact that we are at a stage now
Cancer
when
treatment rates are increasing though too.
they're increasing because the rates of cancer are also
Our
increasing.
ability
Right?
to stop it is
Is increasing. Now, twofold. Number one, the reasoning is increasing isn't because, I don't know, God hates us more today than he did 2,000 years ago. But
I agree with that, yeah.
there are many things that we're doing as human beings
that are polluting our environment. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Now, we don't have to do these things. We don't have to. We can find alternative ways. We can. But for some reason, greed, self-interest, lack of seeing each other as children of God lead us to say, you know what? You can die. It's
you
okay.
should. Yeah,
I
no,
make $1
it's
million.
sad. It's very sad. I
It's
agree.
us and not God.
Right.
Now,
I agree,
like we
but
keep
he's over
saying,
here above us, and he should just come
he's
down
above
and
us,
save
and
us.
he did. And he did.
Not enough.
In the person of Jesus.
Somewhat, but not enough.
Don't worry though,
And
he will come
I
back
admire
again.
you being an honest the debater versus
One-
Hamza over
one
here,
more thing.
who just runs away.
One more
doesn't
thing.
answer anything. Yeah, go ahead.
He will come back again. You already know this. However,
Supposed to.
the second time, it's not going to be like the first.
Right.
In the first time,
It'll be revelations. Yeah.
exactly.
You could argue Donald Trump's revelations already. You could argue.
You can argue that he fits the
Some
motif
people
or
might
whatever,
think
but
so.
I'm talking
Some
about
people might
Christ in particular.
I'm not saying that.
The first time he was here,
I don't like him, but I'm not saying he's the devil.
the first time he was here not to condemn the world,
To
but
save
to
it.
save it.
Yeah.
Awesome. The second time, he is here to judge.
Right. Well, since 4 horsemen, is Jesus going to come down and judge everyone? Like, I don't.
So, in the manner it will occur, I don't know.
Right.
Revelations has apocalyptic imagery.
Right.
So basically, John sees something and is trying to convey to the people who he met. Sometimes you can have a dream and try to convey it to people, but what you're conveying might not be the exact thing you saw,
Right. No.
word for word. But the idea is there. Now, when he comes, he's judging. So you got to ask yourself, are you going to be judged as the sheep, those who followed him, or as the goats,
gonna go to hell probably. Unfortunately.
I don't want you
It's all
to,
good. I appreciate
but
that,
it's up
and
to
I
you.
respect you. Thank you again for telling
God
me.
bless you. All right.